Hi, welcome to the Chasing Tone podcast. My name is Travis.
I'm Max.
I'm Max.
You're Max.
And I'm Brian.
There can only be one.
Yeah, that's true. They broke the mold.
Highlander, bro. Watch it.
What did he say?
It's a Highlander, bro. Watch it. There can only be one.
There can only be one.
That's an 80s reference. I thought you guys were old. I thought I'd appeal to
I don't
you.
know.
I knew what you
I didn't. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
You do know what you're talking about.
Highliner?
Highlander, dude.
Oh, Highlander.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't understand what you were saying.
You're from the 80s. You know this.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. Okay.
Giant swords. It's like Roadhouse, but cooler. No, that's a lie. Roadhouse is awesome.
Nothing's cooler than road. Anyways, this is a podcast about guitar tone.
Yes.
All right. Okay. And Highlander, apparently.
Roadhouse had Jeff Healey in it.
It did have Jeff Healey in it.
Yes, it did.
I wonder if Philip Sace was in that. He used to play for Jeff Healey. It's true.
It's true.
All
we
right.
should stop right now and go YouTube it.
Let's do it. Yeah, right now.
Look it up, monkey.
Right? Look it up, monkey. Okay, so there's a couple things that I'd like to talk about. They've got the trusty list, right?
Ooh, it's official.
Okay, so let's do one that's kind of fun first. You know,
Sure.
It's kind of not really related to tone, but it'd be good to hear your guys' thoughts on it. So I'd love to hear your guys' answers to this. Send them to podcast@wamplerpedals.com. But basically, things in your gig bag that you depend on, things that you need, and then just kind of like the crazy things you'll find in there, right?
Yeah.
So
I know I learned the hard way what Travis brings to his gigs.
yeah,
It
well,
involves ammo.
yeah,
Mine did too.
I've been known to keep some extra ammunition in my gig bag. Hey, look, America.
that tells you what kind of gigs you're playing. Man.
Exactly,
It's a
right?
hardcore gig.
That is a hardcore gig. But no, seriously, man, you're downtown and, Indianapolis, which I think was like the 11th biggest city in the country. So, I mean,
think
it's
the
a big
crime's
city.
like the worst city in
Per capita. We just passed Chicago in the murder rate.
Right.
Nice job, Indy.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Keep it up. You know what you should be doing is looking for speeders.
Yeah.
Let's look for speeders and not solve crime. Yeah, good idea.
But anyway, I play downtown, and you're getting out of there at 3:00 in the morning, and not that I'm gonna shoot somebody because they're gonna try to take my $100 that I made, right? But if some people,
But possibly Les Paul.
right, yeah. But no, here's the thing though. Here's my whole view on it. Some people think $100 is enough to shoot you over.
Yeah, that's true.
You see what I mean?
Some people think $10 is enough
See what I
for you to
mean?
lose your life.
Right. So, anyways, that's the weirdest thing that most people will think are weird, and I'm not going to make this show about guns. If you hate guns, that's cool. If you love guns, that's cool. Anyways, so basically, I always keep 2 extra cables and a tube screamer of some variance, whether it's I don't want to call out anybody, say they're clones, but
Right.
my favorite pedal is a tube screamer bass for that. You
Yeah.
know, you know what I'm talking
Yep.
about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Remember when we opened it up and they tried to scratch the printing off the chip so you couldn't tell which one it was? You
Yep.
remember that?
Yep.
And yet we could still see which one it was. But and then I keep a spare tuner in case my floor tuner goes out, and then some batteries, and I always have a couple gear shifters in there, whammy bars.
Couple gear shifters.
Well, I always have a couple gear shifters.
So you bring a couple whammy bars. So, do you lose them while you play, or I mean,
Well, they just happen to accumulate there.
do they break?
Yeah. I have broken one once. Actually, my wife broke it, and she felt terrible. It was the molded cases that Fender was doing there for a while.
Yep.
I had she put one of my guitars up, which is cool, right? She's helping me out or whatever. And she didn't put the gear shifter towards the body. She left it up towards like the neck. So, and then she shut the case right on it, and the gear shifter snapped right off in it, dude. So I had to take a reverse thread thing and get it out. But
You should have played that up for a new guitar.
oh yeah, dude, I could make her feel guilty instantly, still to this day. But the thing is like,
That's terrible.
No way, dude. I'm not gonna open that
Just
door.
wait till you get married.
No, I'm not going to open that door because I've done enough bad crap that like
Yeah.
it trumps that.
I could
So
I could understand that.
Yeah, right.
So you open that floodgates and she'll
It's
like
over.
she'll dump the barrel
Yes,
of stuff
because
over your
women
head. Gotcha.
remember
Gotcha.
everything from 10 years ago that you did.
Oh,
Every
really?
time you called me fat 12 years ago.
Yeah.
No, we don't
Remember
use
that
the F
time
word.
I had to take out the trash? I love you, honey, and I know you listen to these now because you heard me say stuff on one. She did. But the thing she heard me say something like, "I've been married 10 years. That's awesome." And she's like, "I love you, sweetie." I was like, "Yeah, I love you too. I never say anything bad."
I tell you what, Shelly actually listened to the podcast, and I didn't know it. I came home, she goes, "You're doughy."
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, what a woman.
Yeah, I just wanted.
Sorry,
I have
dude.
the best wife in the world, you know. So
Yep, he never complains.
I've never said
Never
anything
once.
negative about her or anything.
She signs my paychecks, and neither have I.
Yeah, it's her name at the bottom of it. Okay, so that's basically all the stuff that. But I've done plenty of gigs with you, Max, and I know you're not going to leave me hanging on the ammo thing. Am I wrong?
No, I found a whole load of magazines of mine. But no, I'm the guy that shows up to the gig that has like every tool. I actually found a framing hammer in my gig bag once.
I can understand that because, like, at NAMM, I'll be like, you know, what we really need is an air compressor. Max is like, hang on.
Yeah, I seriously like whenever they're like I have like two tool bags with me at NAMM. It's like so one we can like the smaller one we can take up to the hotel room, and a bigger one with like everything of 5 of everything.
It's like framing guns and circular saws and table saws and a
Can
welder.
I start calling you tool bag?
No.
Hi, I'm Travis. I'm tool bag.
No, I'm not going
That's
to.
so many connotations.
I know, and that's so mean. I revoke that.
You can.
I'm taking that back.
I'll let you take it back.
Okay.
I'm always
So-
that guy at the gig. Travis is like, "Hey, Max, you got a number 2 Phillips screwdriver?" Yeah, check it out.
What, no, there's two things. Max is a what's the word? Can you say connoisseur?
I'm a collector.
Yeah,
Everything.
of flashlights. Did you know this about Max?
I think you did
Hey
tell
Max,
me.
do you
yeah.
have a flashlight on you right now?
Actually, it's in my briefcase.
Okay.
And I got another one, mag light, on my desk. It's huge, just in case power goes out.
Because there's windows here.
You need 180 lumens sometimes, and I have
Minimum.
that. Yeah,
Minimum.
minimum, and I have that.
So he always has a
I
pocket
love
knife.
lemons.
He always has a pocket knife.
Yeah, I got a pocket knife.
And look, he's got his pocket knife right there. Oh, that's not a pocket knife. That's a machete, bro.
No kidding.
Dang.
Cut down some bamboo later or something.
Just for dinner.
So now he has a flashlight kind of thing going on, and he gets pumped when he gets a new flashlight.
I do. I got a lot.
He'll
of
call
them.
me.
Do you put on? You should put it on Instagram.
I got boutique flashlights now, man. Like they're not like Walmart things. They're like
Oh,
the
yeah.
real deal.
Special order.
Like Cree LEDs. And all.
3 payments.
Yeah.
So here
First
before
one
long,
time.
we're gonna see like Max's flashlights online.
Yeah.
His Facebook page.
That would
and
be funny. I need to take a picture. I probably have 50.
Yeah, you
flashlights.
probably do.
We'll be doing a podcast for guys that like bright lights or something.
Bright LEDs.
So a bunch of tools, flashlights, pocket
Yeah.
knives. So anything like other than the ammo, anything really weird?
Well, I mean, something I didn't start carrying till recently. When we went to a NAMM, we used a guy named Elmo to play with us, and he always carries gaffer's tape. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can see the benefit of that. And he actually told me once he used gaffer tape to keep his car's hood from flying up on the highway because like the hood latch broke or something. So he actually rolled like gaffer's tape around the front of his car. And so now I'm like, that's a brilliant idea because I'll be the guy whose hood latch fails. I'm like, dang it, I wish I would have had some gaffer's tape. So I started carrying that. But yeah, other than the framing hammer.
So now you adopted that. You're
I adopted it.
I'm going to need this.
Yeah, or somebody else will.
He said, yeah.
Somebody's like, my car, hood latch is broke. I can help you. Check it out. Gaffer's tape. Or Brian's like, Max, I need a roll of gaffer's tape. I can help you out. Check it out.
Max is
yeah,
that
Max,
guy,
like, you
though.
want black or do you want red?
we got camo, neon.
Max is that guy though. Like he'll keep a 6-pack of beer in his fridge that he won't touch. That's just for the guests in case they need it. You know what I mean?
I can understand that.
He's that guy.
Or it's Sunday and it's Indiana. I'm like, man, I need a beer.
Yeah, he can't buy beer
Can't.
in Indiana on Sunday.
Or
Yeah.
or a car.
Or car.
Or a car. Yeah,
Which
Or
makes
handgun.
sense, you know?
yeah. Because Sunday is the one day when everybody has off.
Right. And nobody ever is going to buy beer on Saturday to make up for Sunday.
Right.
True story though, I have driven to Michigan to buy beer on a Sunday.
I used to. When
I drove 4 hours.
Yeah,
to
I think
go get
I
beer
think
on
we've all,
Sunday.
at least if we were younger, I'm sure we've all been there at some point.
Yeah, I used to
probably-
live in Vincennes, and Vincennes is like the bridge town. You know,
Right.
there's a bridge
Yep.
from Vincennes to Illinois. So I mean,
probably drink too
right,
much.
did that. You probably do
I'm
drink. too much.
driving 4.5 hours for beer on Sunday.
Football season's back.
It's true.
Football. I know you're excited about
Yeah,
that.
that's good.
For you
Hockey
guys,
No,
season
I'm
is
all right
true.
with it. I don't watch it.
Yeah, actually,
I
you're
watch-
more of an MMA guy and boxing guy.
I do
and
like
stuff.
MMA, yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the used tubes.
Yeah,
Look at
I
that
think
guy hit the other guy.
MMA. I think there's some like gay tendencies there.
Maybe.
There's probably some Greco-Roman like a lot of steam, a lot of skin thing, a lot of oil thing going
I
on.
want to put on some spandex. We're getting oiled up and hit each other.
Yeah,
There's
and
nothing
then,
weird
and, then
about that.
and then we're gonna get on the ground and grapple,
yeah.
right?
No, you just
I don't
tap-
understand the problem.
It's like a struggle snuggle.
You just tap out when you're done.
A struggle snuggle.
Oh, that's terrible. And again, for those listening, it is PG-13. The struggle
my
snuggle,
God.
I think, falls under that.
I got to use that one
Oh.
next time. Back next time I'm watching with the kids, I'll be like,
Dude.
struggle, smuggle.
Dude, never give me credit for. Although Brent's gonna know who it came from. Your son.
Yeah. Yeah, he would be like, that sounds like Travis.
Okay, so man, we've way off track here, but that's fine. That's all right.
So
It's
at
okay.
this point, there's like two guitarists listening going, I like football.
right? Yeah, football's good.
You stopped at the football thing.
Yeah, but I will say one thing. I'll say about sports and leave
Sure.
it is the best time of the year possible is like November because it's basically just football and hockey.
Hockey.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
I disagree. But it's excellent Xbox.
Oh,
season.
this one time I'm going to say you're wrong.
Hash brown wrong.
Hashtag wrong.
I know.
Hash brown wrong.
I am the odd guy who, instead of playing sports, I would probably play PS4 or something.
Or guitar.
Or guitar.
More likely PS4. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. So your gig bag contents.
My gig bags. We've talked about this before. I take like a big toolbox type thing, and I usually load it down with overdrive pedals because in between sets I get tired of what I've used the last set. So I'm like, all right, well, I've been using the Plexi drive and the Paisley drive, and I've got a Euphoria on there. I think we're gonna rock the slow distortion, the Plex distortion, and
or this prototype that there's only one of in the world, and I made it, and then the schematics in my head. So
and it's put together with duct tape, so I'm definitely going to put it on the board and then wonder why it stops
Gaffer's
working
tape.
mid-set.
another reason for gaffer's tape, bro. Protecting your ideas.
I'm saying the honest truth.
dudes, let's start using gaffer's tape instead of epoxy goop. That'll be our new thing.
We should just wrap every pedal with gaffer's tape inside, just up the circuit board.
That's my
never
idea.
take that
Just to put that out there. That's my idea.
We can have you sign each one.
yeah, both of them. So no pedals. and tools.
Pedals, cables, strings.
Yeah.
I always take extra pack of strings. I hate breaking strings.
Why don't you just bring two guitars?
I do that as well. Bring 2 amps. We talked about that before. 2 heads. 1 cabinet, 2 heads. That's my mouse sound.
Okay, that's.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened, but we're gonna pretend that never happened, and we're gonna go on.
It's not like a
can't-
Mickey Mouse sound. It's
You're not
also
gonna
my-
tell your goofy joke, are you?
I'm not. I
Okay.
can't tell on the air.
Yeah.
It's also my sound for the gingerbread man. You're a monster. Anyways, going on.
Okay, so what else do I do? That's about it, really. I mean, I don't really carry a gun because, like, if I go play out, then it's usually somewhere I'm not going to get killed.
You're not. Yeah, you're not like the gun guy, you know.
No, I mean, I have a gun, but
Yeah.
I don't have like a handgun.
Right.
Not that I don't have anything against it. I'm just lazy.
American
So-
Express card.
I probably should buy one. I just haven't yet.
You gotta load it. Then you gotta point it. Too many steps. I
I lost interest totally after loading.
You lost me at pointing.
I got a guy for that.
Yeah.
Max, just shoot him.
Yeah, I got me a bean counter for that.
That is a good excuse. I don't need a gun. I got a Max.
One thing, this is way off subject, but man, I've been getting a lot of emails to podcast@wamplerpedals.com. And I'm going to show them, I'm going to compile them and show them to you guys to show and prove to you that the man behind the tone curtain is catching on.
You think so?
I think hashtag wrong is going to be. That's a good poll though. That'd be a cool poll.
Well, yeah, which one's catching on more? Hashtag wrong or man behind the tone curtain?
It's just terrible.
But you think I'm at a disadvantage though, because hash brown wrong's easier to type.
That means it's better.
I'm not saying one's better. Now.
Maybe we should have people start hashtagging tone curtain.
Boom.
You know,
Tone curtain.
We could solve this real easy. You know, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram or MySpace, that's a joke. That's a joke.
What's MySpace?
That's a joke.
Yeah, what's MySpace?
You know, hashtag some stuff.
Yeah,
We'll
hash
figure it
brown. Hashtag hash brown. Right?
Exactly.
I bet you hashtag hash brown takes off more than anything.
Yeah,
I'm sure it would.
You're probably right.
Probably
Hashtag hash brown.
Something about food, I bet. Probably.
Hashtag.
Oh, a cheeseburger and a side of hashtag.
Okay, so now we should probably get into some serious stuff since
All right.
half the show is gone.
Yeah,
Hash browns
let's
are
dig into the
serious,
text. Start.
Yeah. One cool thing is, what do you think between... Now, I know this isn't the exact same thing, but it's just to start a conversation. So, the difference between, say, like an Epiphone Les Paul versus a Gibson Les Paul. Now, let me interject. That thing gets weird because there's like 400 kinds of Les Pauls now. You know what I mean? There's like the standard, the classic, the traditional plus,
The studio.
the studio, the custom, the supreme, the junior. You know what I mean? It goes on and on and on. But I know you have a Les Paul studio, right?
I have a Les Paul, yes.
And I think Max and I, we were talking. I've owned six
Les Pauls.
Six Les Pauls or something like that. So I think I have a little bit of insight on this, and
I've
you have a Les Paul, and yeah, yours plays real great. I've also had a number of Epiphones. My wife has an Epiphone has an Epiphone Les Paul.
Oh, I'm gonna buy my wife guitars too. That's a great excuse,
Dude, it's great. Except for she buys them off of looks and price instead of like what's awesome. So yeah, I had a Vegas Spark. Guys, look this up. It's the most hideous guitar you'll ever see. It's Vegas Gold Sparkle 72 reissue Telecaster Deluxe.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you sell that for a guitar for yourself?
Yes, I totally did. Thanks, Max, for calling me out on that.
I think you called yourself on that once.
Whatever.
Oh, it's a guitar, so I'm selling yours. So.
Yeah, she never played that one. But one thing I will say, to me, I think the Epiphones could use a pickup upgrade most of the time. And obviously everything's so subjective. But the thing I notice, and really with any guitar, is the neck. And I mean that by profile, fret job, radius, all that stuff.
Profile and drum.
Not that, not...
It's neck profiling.
That is neck profiling. That's guitar profiling. But, and I guess the same could be said for like, and I know you've had a lot of Strats. You've had,
I've had a ton of them.
You have, your pink one's a Mexican made, right?
It's actually Japanese.
It's Japanese made, okay. Yeah. But you've had Mexican made ones, right?
Yeah, and I have a California series, which is half Mexican, half American. I'm American.
The American parts shipped to Mexico or something like that?
Yeah, it's painted in Mexico, and all American parts, and assembled here, then Mexican pickups. It's,
okay,
yeah,
all
it's
right.
the Tex-Mex
hodgepodge kind of thing. So I guess the big question is it worth the extra money? What do you think?
I think if the guitar player feels like it's worth it, then it is. I mean,
right.
It's like okay, you got to understand. I'm not a big guitar guy.
Right.
I've got several Telecasters, and there's nothing.
And that's good enough, right?
No, I have a Les Paul, I have a Strat, a couple of things, but
yeah.
So
I'm like if I'm playing somewhere, I'm going to use a Telecaster.
And you basically have 2 Telecasters that you play. 3.
I got a couple. I mean, I got like a Mexican Tele with a bender in it. I got the Brent Mason Valley Arts thing.
Oh yeah, that's kind of a Tele.
Your Woodfills.
2 Whitfields. I have that old 52 reissue.
Which I can't get behind that guitar, man. I know you love it, and that's great.
I loved it until I got the Whitfields.
Wish I could play
It's my number 2. My number 3 now.
Yeah,
but I mean
the 2 Whitfields and
yeah.
that's the 3 I was talking about. Was the 2 Whitfields and that reissue.
Yeah, the Brent Mason Tele. I mean, it feels more like it plays more like a Les Paul and a Telecaster, hide your kids' ears. If they had sex, that's what that Valley.
If they made relations.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Or, I mean, tastes. I mean,
Copulated.
yeah, feels like. That's
Yeah,
the
it feels like. Yeah, so I mean, the thing is we're kind of spoiled because we're in the industry, you know, and if there's something we like, chances are, you know, the people are nice enough to help us out in getting it. So what is what is, you know,
unless it's a Strat.
yeah, unless it's a Strat, but
We're trying.
you know,
we're looking for Strats.
And if you're a guitar builder out there and you want me to play your stuff, send me a free one, man.
Yeah. Send a Stratocaster. That's what I'm saying.
It's just a Stratocaster.
I will play that. But no, on a real note, my whole thinking on it is it depends on what you want the guitar for.
Yeah.
For instance, if I'm looking for a guitar that I want to be my main humbucking guitar, then I'm probably going to go with, you know, a Gibson because they seem to play better to me. And I'll probably go with something like a traditional, you know, because it's kind of a middle of the road, and I'll probably look used because you can get them for $1,500 or $1,600. But that being said, I bought an Epiphone 339 because, well, number one, it actually played better. It didn't sound as good as the Gibson, but the way it was set up at the store, and I know you can change all that, but I use it for one gig, you know, one act that I play with, and that's it. So to me, it was like, I'm not going to spend $2,000 for a guitar I'm going to use with one act.
I've got a really weird problem. I don't know if you've seen it before. I have that white Strat, the Squire.
I have not seen it.
It's like an $85 Squire. It's like the cheapest version they made. And it's literally the only Strat that I like.
You like my Strat?
No, I like your Strat too.
Well, it's a Don Gross retro classic, but yeah.
Yeah, like of all the regular Fenders that I've played, it is there's something about it. I don't know. I've tried other Squires since then, and it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So for some reason, the wood, even though I need a new neck on it because it's got a little bow in it, but it's just
right.
It's just, to me, it sounds pretty good for a Strat. I don't like Strats.
Right, for a Strat.
You know what it is? It's a little darker, and it sounds a little more like a Telecaster. It's a little more mid-rangey and a little darker. That's what it is.
So it sounds like a Tele. But, and I know, I mean, and that's the cool thing is like, and I'm not trying to say, by any means, I know you're not wiping your butt with $100 bills.
No.
But you know a lot of people in the industry to where if you needed just about any guitar within reason, you know, you could obtain it.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of justify it for the business.
Yeah, I mean, within reason. I'm not going to buy a $10,000 Strat
well,
or
of course
anything.
not. But I mean, if it's $1,500 and it's something that's going to help the business, you can justify that expense.
Right.
But I guess the point I'm getting at there is, you still like your $85 Squire more than just about any, you know, $2,000 Strat that you've
right.
played.
And it's I've found kind of came that way with amps too. Not all the time. I mean, I love the Port City stuff. And you know what I like, but I mean, there's like, for example, PV Classic 50. I think it's a great amp.
Oh yeah, man.
I just think, I mean, cheap or not, I think it's a great amp. You know?
Yeah.
Especially my favorite thing to do.
Sometimes they don't have that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like if you run it into like a Marshall cabinet.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Oh, it's
because
awesome.
Something to do with, I don't know if it's the cabinet or the speakers or the combination thereof, but to me it loses that presence, or like, I don't know, that feeling, that thump that you get out of it. You know, I don't know, but when you put in another cab, boy, you're right, man. That's great. Yeah. But I just think it's cool that out of all of us, you know, who can justify buying good gear and all that, that we all have some, and I don't want to say cheap, inexpensive, I guess. We all have some inexpensive gear that we really love, you know, and that's kind of a hard question to answer and kind of a hard topic, but one that we get a lot. We get questions on that.
There's really like there's not a solid black and white answer.
Not at all.
And it's the same with pedals.
Yes.
Just because a pedal is $500 or $600 or $1,000 does not mean that it sounds $1,000 better than or $900 better than a $100 pedal.
Right. And another thing, I'll go back to the, you know, what do you need it for kind of thing. For instance, I play one song that I really wish I had a rotary simulator. Okay. For that, the chorus you used to make, the Nirvana, works perfect for one song. You know, and I know it's not a rotary sim. I know it doesn't sound anything like the great ones. Like, the rotosphere, the ventilator. I know it doesn't stand up to those, but for the one song, I can't justify spending $300 on a pedal.
It's good enough for the 3 minutes you're using.
Exactly. And I think that's what it boils down for me more than price and more than anything. Is what do I need it for?
Right.
If it's my workhorse, then I'm going to spend a little bit more money on it.
Sure. I always compare it to cars, man. You have a Chevy Cavalier. It's a very dependable car. It'll get you from point A to point B. Rely on it every day. But a Chevy, the Corvette, will do the exact same thing, but it's so much cooler.
Yeah.
It's like it all depends what you want. I mean, both are great options.
I can't wait till I'm 60 so I can get a Corvette.
Oh, I'll never be able to afford one.
I think that's the minimum age for a Corvette driver.
Oh, I'm old.
Dude, this is off subject, but maybe it's just because he's old that made me think of it. Dude, guess who was at my gig last night? Okay, so I'm playing, and it's an open mic night, and we host it. We play for about, an hour or whatever, and then they get up. But there's this guy, man, he looked like he came just off the golf course wearing pants or shorts up in between his, his thigh and his knee real high. He's wearing this, jumper with a golf flag on it, and he's wearing like a Max Fly hat.
Pink shirt.
Yeah, salmon, bro.
Bro.
And he's playing harmonica throughout our whole set, because why not, right? Why wouldn't you? But so there's a song that we do, and at the end it like breaks down real quiet, and I could hear him playing harmonica, so I just stopped the band. And then he still didn't even realize, I don't know if he was drunk or what, but he still didn't realize that he was, what he was doing. And so I called him out. I was like, do your solo, man. Do it right there. And I feel bad because I was being a jerk to this guy, right? And I mean, I wasn't being a jerk, but basically I was giving him what he deserved, Dude turned out to be a Masters champion.
I hope he plays better golf than did harmonica.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
I don't know if I should say his name, but he won the Masters. He has a green jacket, and whenever I realized who he was, I went up to him. I was like, "What's up, Mark?" And now you guys can pretty much Google who it is. But and he kind of like out of his, he realized that I knew who he was.
Right.
And then I said, "What's that ring you got on?" And he's like, "That's my Masters ring." It's like, that's what I thought. And I was like, I was just a jerk to this dude, and he's won the Masters. But no, isn't that crazy? Right? But so
I'm sure somewhere today he's telling this story to all his rich friends.
Yeah, I got on stage.
This little punk ass kid.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be this guy when I'd play Tiger Woods video games. I used to be this dude. You know what I mean?
I've beat you before.
Yeah,
you're nothing.
Yeah, you blew at a TPC at Sawgrass, hole 17. You blew it. You blew it on my video game.
I lost $100 over that one.
But no, I just thought that was cool because I was an absolute jerk to this guy, and then I realized who he was. I was like, there's probably a reason he's wearing all that golf attire, But yeah, it was kind of funny, right?
It really
no,
was, yeah.
No.
He's a terrible harmonica player, though.
Oh man!
And
do you know what he went by? He didn't want anybody to know his name, so you know what he signed the list by, and I actually had to call him up to the stage as Hammer.
Hammer, really?
Hammer. Hammer.
Last name time.
Yeah.
He's proud of looking at him. He's so proud of himself. He's like,
I hope you guys can watch the YouTube video so you can see how proud he was of himself for the Hammer time. But, I mean, so the Epiphone and Gibson thing, I mean, and then the Strat, the Mexican versus American, and it could even be set into the boutique world. But, obviously the Fender stuff and the Gibson stuff is going to be a little less expensive. But I think it all comes down to personal preference and what you need it for. So that's a really hard question to ask when somebody says, is it worth the money?
what's it worth to you?
That's what it all comes back to.
Boom.
But I mean, for example, I'll never buy a Dumble. I mean,
well, let me take. Here's the thing: you can't say never, because if somebody says, "Hey, I got a Dumble and it's $15,000,"
yeah, that's true.
Then you could hang on to it, and then in 6 months you could turn around for $60,000.
Yeah, maybe as an investment, but
right?
exactly.
Exactly.
But like, I'm gonna go play out this weekend. I'm not taking a Dumble with me.
You can buy a Two-Rock. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Remember that one time I thought
stuff, yeah.
you weren't at the Dallas Amp show.
I wasn't at the Dallas Amp show, no.
At the Dallas Amp show, like I showed up like early to set everything up, and there's just like this beautiful Two-Rock,
Which is your dream amp.
Dream amp. Yeah, it was the right color.
It's
I mean,
Two-Rock,
everything.
if you want to send Max an amp,
He-
he'd love it.
Two-Rock.
He's like, did you buy this for me?
This is like setting up. And I'm like, and I'm asking everybody around us, whose is this? Whose amp is this? Everybody's like, I don't know. I'm like, freaking A. I've been busting hump. Brian got me an amp. This is awesome. So I'm calling him like, dude, I love you so much. Thank you. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, this. You know what I'm talking about? This Two-Rock sitting on the booth. He's like, dude, that's not ours. I'm like, yes, it is. He's like, no, it's not. I didn't just buy you a $5,000 amplifier. I'm like, and then like,
But you did.
yeah. So I'm like, what? I hang up the phone with them, and like, but still there. Like 2 hours later, I'm like, well, if nobody claims this at the end of the day, it's mine.
You're just going to steal it.
It's some guy just came by. He's like, oh, sorry, wrong booth. I'm like, oh man,
No, it's the right booth.
that's the sound of my heart just breaking right there.
Class A heartbreak. Boom. It sounds like a John Mayer song.
Class A heartbreak.
Class A heartbreak.
John, you're welcome.
Patent pen.
Send a check to John.
Copyright
Yeah.
money.
But so no, I know that's. I wanted to get to more stuff, but we got so off track. And if we keep going, man, this show is going to be way too long.
I can see the YouTube comments now. You guys suck.
Yeah, you guys didn't talk about anything relevant. You know,
I literally lost 30 minutes of my life.
we've had that email before.
It's true.
Yes. My thing is if you didn't like it after 5 minutes, why'd you keep listening?
That's the trick. If you're still listening right now and you're like, I hate this, you're an idiot because you probably should have stopped at like 1 minute in.
You can't say they're an idiot.
I mean
You
I
gotta
mean
say-
that facetiously. I do idiot things all the time. Trust me.
He means
Hashtag wrong.
he got you. Yes. Okay, so if you guys have any comments, I'd like to hear your guys' gig bag contents, as long as it's somewhat clean. Well, I guess you can say anything, and if it's bad, I'm just not going to repeat it. But
Either that or we'll post it on Facebook.
yeah. So, and another thing is, dude, don't forget to, if you dig the show, and you want to spread the word, that's cool. Just hashtag it, chasing tone, tone curtain, wrong, right? No, hash brown.
Hashtag Highlander.
Highlander.
Hashtag there can only be one. I got nothing there.
There you go. All right.
I'm just saying
But
random stuff and hashtagging it.
Spread the word. We'd really appreciate it. And if you guys want to get to us, just hit us up at podcast@wamplerpedals.com. Thank you guys so much for listening.